Inspire and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your non-stop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
Answer listeners' view to avoid any statements or comments or derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or many statements false or misleading. Call 1-534-825 949-6990 949-8037 or WhatsApp us 1-925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independent, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Ort Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, host Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome. So much for joining us. And if you're online, a very inspiring man. As the promo says, informative, inspiring, and impartial. Mr. Art does a fantastic job. So take a page, not just from his chapter, his book, but an encyclopedia that is his expertise and experience and intellect. Well, some open line will take the opportunity to share with you. Do our very best to, make it as engaging and as informative, as entertaining, and as, inclusive as possible. But join me again later on today, God's willing, for a talk today. Our good friends over at Cayman, Maritime will join us. An excellent organization. And when we look at Mr. Walton and his team and Mr. Smith over at the Civil Aviation Authority, we see two, amazing stalwarts within the civil service who, remind us of the aptitudes that we have within the service, but within the Cayman psyche as well. So 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call 925-3261. You can also use the toll-free line 1-800-534-8255. All the numbers that you would use when you call Talk Today is the same For the Record. Now, given the show and its nature, given the fact that we heard, if you were able to join us for 7 a.m. headlines, fantastic Mr. Ebanks reading the news, the PPM announcing his part of conference coming up in short order. You want to talk politics? Go right ahead. This is the platform for it. We will do our best to not just facilitate and ensure that you have a space to share, but hopefully through an exchange, we might be able to, as our scientists talk about, interrogate, not like, the prosecutors of yesteryear, not that word. We're going to go into it in depth. So, what do you want to talk about? Hopefully you are driving safely into work. If you're already there, well, may it be a very productive day. If you like some and you are working from home, well, that too, will allow you to get the work done, but also create a space within which you can not just be productive and prosper, but also have the opportunity to escape as well. I say that to share from two perspectives, even though it's just a little bit beyond 7:30. Had, like many of you, already what feels like a full day, and a couple of individuals shared a few things that we were intending initially to maybe have the continued discussion and talk today show later on, but it's on the minds of many. And it's this whole idea of, one, the country. Is it being disrespected? Are the Caymanians being likewise? And the second one, how do we ensure that it's not a powder cake? We don't allow things get to a place where it goes to be increasingly divided. One of the two individuals shared, wait a minute, our political landscape is increasingly divided. Is that the nature of it? We're watching, and I must share, and I would ask you to to help me to get it right, or to understand it properly. On a personal level, I do not necessarily subscribe to party politics. It's a personal thing. But I like structure, I like discipline, I like accountability. And they say, well, that's why you have party politics. And then I counter and say, but no, are you loyal to the party? Is it that the country should be the party and the priority? And they will, go back and forth. And I'm thinking, there's no conflict. If you have a partisan approach, you can't be impartial. You have to be, and then when you're looking at the party system, is it in order, for that party to either continue in power, or for the other party, if it's, just going to premise, like the, economists talk about, all things being equal, the party that is not there, the Her Majesty's loyal opposition, they want to get in power. Is it for them to do so? They need to make the government of their look not so good? If the analogy would be accepted, you hire in a group of employees. No, not your auditors. No, not the people who set up systems to come and test and check, who evaluate that employees are doing what needs to be done. That like, you watch the movies and there's a police show and there's the internal affairs department, and they're, the most hated, amongst them, because, well, it's not that. It's about ensuring that there is this semblance of integrity in the system and the system's work. But if you have a group of employees whose job is to seemingly undermine the other employees, what's the point of the company paying those sets of employees? Don't you all want them working together? That's how I like in the party system too. You got a group of people in there who, in order to look good, makes the other ones look bad, and they oppose just for opposition's sake. Now you might say that's not how it happens, but that is exactly how it happens. If not, you call and tell me, educate me, challenge me. But you better come good today, because it's a Wednesday, bobo. 949-8037, 949-6990. As much as I say it that way, I still a lot of love in my heart. I can disagree with you and still have the greatest of respect. I can stand my ground without shouting, fussing, and fighting. But sometimes people believe that because you don't have one in the gloves, your knuckles not good. Well, let's see what 949-8037, 949-6990. It is truly a distinct honor to be able to sit here and host and get, if she doesn't mind, extra time with Miss Susan. You imagine that? I mean, you think she looks great and functions effectively at midday? She got to check her early, man. She is here from the crack of dawn, getting it, for us. All right. I know that we do the birthday shout-outs, and thanks, Miss Susan, for reminding me, and she send them across to me. My job is to make sure that I do it properly, right, Miss Susan? I'm not gonna too much. But boy, if I could, I get her to join me, because it's good to hear another voice. But I'd like to do to Miss Harriet. Her birthday was yesterday, and I forgot Miss Harriet. There is no thing. You want to join me, Miss Susan, in saying birthday shout-outs?
You're going to force me, I know that.
I'm not going to, no. I'm going to very, very actively encourage you. I'm going to incentivize you. I mean, our listeners love you more than they love cooked food. Almost as much as they love fish tea. All right. So I have to take the honor into Thomas Hart. Yes, I didn't call her to wish her happy birthday.
My old boss, my former boss, I should say.
You remember when you used to work? Okay, so it's Comart, and then the little corner, the store right there where Miss Hart was in the corner before you get to
Kimano,
yeah.
Sell perfumes and so forth. That was in the 80s, I believe.
No, let's not go that far back. Miss Hart is still young. Okay?
So belated birthday greetings to my former boss, Miss Harriet Jane Lott.
Mm-hmm.
And also celebrating a birthday yesterday was Kadeen Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And coming up tomorrow, happy birthday going out to Lavinia Hernandez.
Mm.
And of course, the birthday shout out is brought to you with the kind compliments of Coca-Cola.
Yeah. And many of us would, recognize that in January, a lot of people celebrate their birthday. I mean, mine isn't in January, but I celebrate it too. Every day.
Forgive my manners. Good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers.
Everybody knows Miss Susan. No, but thank you for joining me, because I think in being reminded of this segment for the birthday shout-outs and for the record, I think birthdays to some of us, we feel like, I don't want to celebrate that because you get another year older. And for others like me, wow, you're not only getting to maybe experience another year, you have experienced a year, and you get to see another day, and you celebrate it, whether it's an excuse for you to eat as you wish, or it might just be the fact that you get to be a part of that day. So, for all who publicly or otherwise celebrate their birthdays and share with us, a wonderful, blessed, and healthy day. For those who don't, you want to keep it quiet. Well, I have a few friends like that. Yeah, I won't publicly acknowledge you, but I gotta do something I don't normally do. I'll give you a hug when I see you, but from a distance anyway. For your Miss Susan, if I may ask you, if it was your birthday, come on, join me. Come here, I'm gonna have some fun today. If it was your birthday, right, what would be that one thing that you would want to do to celebrate? And for me, I tell you what it would be like, right? Quietly at Bacchus somewhere, just watching the children and my nieces and nephews just go out in the water and wade out in the water, throw it the top of the line, and just enjoy. It would have been great if my uncle was still around and he could help my brothers and my daddy, cook all the fish tea.
Boy, you got a good, vivid imagination, right?
Yeah, you imagine if I used to write.
For me, it would be surrounded by family and friends, and a nice steak.
Steak?
Yeah.
Is that S-T-A-K they put through the heart like a vampire? Or what you could do with that steak? Oh, you mean, okay, filet mignon, or you want a ribeye?
Sirloin steak.
Sirloin? Yeah, boy, later, who knows what she likes? No, what you gonna have with that? Potatoes or salad?
I would have some broccoli and some mashed potato.
With garlic and a little
I
bit.
don't know why we're talking about food this time of morning. You're getting me hungry.
So, like I said, I recognize that for some of us, lunch could be 4 or 5 hours from now. For some of us, we're ready for lunch because we've been up, all night, so to speak, right? And no, not like Mr. McKee would talk about nocturnal activities. No, we were studying, we were doing stuff. But I want people to celebrate their birthday and recognize that it's another day, and with a joy as much as they can. And for those who are around them, who recognize that they are unable to do that because they're feeling a heart pain and other reasons, join alongside them, man. Remind them that they're here and glad that they are. So it is, with apology that we extend on behalf of the PPM. They normally would join us here on Wednesdays, and with other commitments and obligations, they're unable to. We did extend other invitations, and maybe that will materialize, including to Dr. Steve and Mr. McKeever-Bush, Honorable W. McKeever-Bush. If they can join us, hey, great, either or both. But it's going to be open line, and we're going to make use of it from the perspective of engaging, involving, informing, ensuring that all and some alike are able to share in an unfettered way without having to worry about what you say, people taking it the wrong way. No, if we're going to speak, we'll speak together. We can do it, as insistent as we want, but always in love, as pointed but still respectful. 949-837, 949-6990, or 1-800-534-8255. You can WhatsApp call 925-3261. I must share, I did not see all the stuff that been circulating relative to, that, I guess we say riff-raff, how people have taken it. But I will share with you as we go into the first break, ask you to share your thoughts. On one hand, there's the notion of respecting private property. On the other, is this one added thing that, whether it was just out of frustration or inconsideration, out of a shared, deliberate attempt, design at doing exactly what has been transpiring, disrespecting the country. Now, is there a balance that we had that we've lost? Is there an insensitivity on the part of people, on one side of the coin, who come in, did not understand or respect the ethos, or B, people who are here, no matter where they're from originally, how long they've been here, ancestral, generational, or recent, who don't say, wait a minute, that's someone else's property, how do we respect it? Give as a consideration. There used to be a government dock up in the sound, and there are many who would keep their boats there, including my father. Solly, Mr. Warner used to anchor his off, never getting closer, as did Mr. Urdis. But that was their space, and if they would have hauled their boats up to clean the boat bottom, paint, do whatever little maintenance and repairs, that boat could be out of the water for weeks or just days. People would ask, and this is a government dock. These are the men who would use that particular spot. They didn't pay for it in that sense. It wasn't owned by them, but the respect that the community had, including the names of the men for each other and using the spaces that those men would had traditionally used. Other people would ask, I see you out of the water for a little bit, Mr. Hasley. Mind if I just dock my boat there for a couple of minutes or a couple of days while you're out? That sort of respect. Now, for those of you who might impugn others, these men did not expect nor take advantage because it was a free dock. This was something that provided to the community, recognizing that and helping. And this is where government's investment in infrastructure, recognizing that this is how it facilitate the entrepreneurial endeavors of its people. Very much different from some of the concessions that are given that seemingly don't make its way into the country's economy or to the benefit of its people. Now, you may disagree with that, but again, take it on board, challenge. But I'm pretty sure you'll come up short. All right, want us to take that break, Miss Susan? When we come back, we want to hear from you. News at 8 o'clock. And remember, those birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, and all who have celebrated well. Certainly want you to enjoy it and be healthy. Join us after the break.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
During the 1960s, a Mr. Ulrich McNamee came to Grand Cayman from Jamaica to work as a schoolteacher. After recognizing the need for an agriculture society, he set about starting one. Mr. McNamee, along with 10 Caymanians, attended the agriculture show in Jamaica. The group was treated well by the Jamaicans and were able to learn much, including seeing the stores where excess produce were stored and the benefits of their agriculture show. After returning home from the Jamaican agriculture show, Mr. McNamee, along with 15 Caymanians, started to meet on a monthly basis at the courthouse near Hogstye Bay. The meetings were held to discuss the growth of local produce and create the rules and regulations upon which the Cayman Islands Agricultural Society would be born.
Information from this historical vignette was sourced courtesy of Mr. Charles Lindbergh Eden, The History of Agriculture, 50th Annual Agriculture Show magazine.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I'm going direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. You know, it's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic, no sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, you know. And I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
This is For the Record.
Hey, welcome back, and thank you very, very much for joining us. And again, thanks for the honor to sit here and help me, to join me. Let's be a part of it together. God's willing to join me back later on this afternoon for more talk today. But for right now, it's For the Record, and we want you to be a part of the discussion. This open line, again, on behalf of the PPM, apologies, they are not able to join us today. Maybe, possibly, Dr. Steve Ann Mr. McKeever Bush will join in, but it's open line, so let's chat and share the time together. Again, those birthday shoutouts were brought to you by Coca-Cola. One of our listeners, wants to send out birthday wishes to her father, Mr. Derry Anderson's birthday, and wishing him many, 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 many more to come from the wife and the daughters. So, again, you celebrating your birthday is a day. And for some, it's not that the age that they're at, it's just they choose not to do so publicly, and that's fine. But we love on all of them. We pray for continued good health, improved health where there is some illness or ailment. Certainly, as life unfolds, hopefully it'll be one filled with quality and, again, that agape love. But for some, maybe it's that amorous that they seek as well. So what's on your mind and what do you want to chat about? And with the permission of others earlier, we're talking about how the landscape in Cayman is changing, the social landscape. the seemingly, political landscape, and I wanted to maybe share with you, if you would allow, given my healthy respect for the show and what it, provides in terms of the opportunity for us to talk more politically. Two comments. One, the people in our country, what do we bring into the table? And not just the people that we have approved work permits for, hired and made applications, and then those are approved by the requisite government entity. What skill sets do they actually have? The degrees, the qualifications, the skills, the expertise, the experience that presumably they have shared. When we have them employed, do they demonstrate the competency, but also the attitude? And from that, one individual said, well, what about in the schools, educators? What about those as employees and colleagues and the like? Do we have that caliber? And if so, are we at risk of not just not having sufficient skill sets, but attitudes as well as aptitude? Well, let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thank you for sharing. How are you?
Hello?
Yeah, hello. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Sorry, I'm driving in traffic.
Hey, how is the traffic?
So I think we could start with traffic.
Yeah, well, let's do. I mean, how is the traffic? Because I'm not in any traffic at all. I mean, the traffic here is really good. How is it on your end? You drive safely, or be chauffeured, whichever. And thank you for taking time to call. So let's talk about the traffic.
No, I'm not really wanting to talk about the traffic.
You don't?
The traffic The traffic is minor right now. I think if we had political parties, we might have been able to solve the problem of the traffic a little better than we have solved it.
Well, I am willing to hear your justification for that, because I don't see how that would help. But you tell me, because I may be missing the,
Well, we know that if you have individual opinions, or that, we always have individual opinions, but an individual opinion does not conclude the discussion.
Right.
I mean, because we have other people, so we need to include as many people as we can in making decisions.
Okay, so I think people would.
So it's just how to organize all of the individuals to get as many opinions or perspectives as possible, and then sort of end up with the best result, which would be a result that is lacking the chaos and anarchy that we experience so often in making decisions and executing those decisions in the Cayman Islands. How we deal with roads or transportation is one case in point, because the dealing with transportation is in Cayman Islands, and at the same time trying to encourage people to be so individualistic that they don't want to share their cars in terms of, pooling, but everybody needs to have their individual car going in the same direction to the same destination on the same little small roads, going to the same little small-minded town.
Yeah, but a party system wouldn't help that in any way.
Well, the party system is an expression of our acceptance of the fact that collective experiences and collective decisions are much more helpful in building and preserving a society than this whole idea of, like, I got my opinion, and my opinion is what I'm working with. The worshiping of the so-called individualistic opinion in a community.
Yeah. Something that I would ask you to help me with, as you know, but hopefully others recognize, have the utmost, as many of us do, respect for you. But on a personal level, I want structure and discipline. I want to be able to approach things so that there's a sense of organization. Can you have that without a party system?
Well, I mean, we don't know any of any situations in the world. You can give me an example. the way that works?
Yeah, I've been looking at it, right? And here's the thing, and I've been consciously borrowed from you, if you don't mind. We're gonna interrogate something. We're gonna look at this and academically tear it apart, figure out how this thing works, right? Because I think from two perspectives, Cayman is unique. One, our economy, whether the economists talk about hot money in the economy or how things work, whether that's inflammatory to some or not. And secondly, our political systems, the way they have sort of evolved or tried to. So in saying that, I look at the understanding of what cabinet is. Like the party system, you have the individuals, there's a discussion, and then there should be some sort of agreement. Are you able, sir? I do apologize. We have the news break. That's going to take us for a while. When do we need to go, Ms. Susan? Now? Okay, in 30 seconds, sir. Maybe after the news, quarter past, thereabouts, you could shut us back. But share with me. I want to know, is it possible to have those things that we want, that the party seemingly brings, without this divisiveness that the party also brings, without this part of loyalty at the expense of, again, the perception at the expense of country? Can we get it with a discipline, structure, and organization without the party?
Well, I think that the party would reflect the culture.
Yes, sir.
So not every party is going to be the same because they reflect the culture in which they're established.
Yes, sir.
That's one thing we need to understand. Cayman people are very individualistic, and so that would be reflected in the party system. So how you organize a Caymanian, your ability to move a Caymanian along collectively is also different than in most places, so that would be reflected as well. We see the party system re-emerging in the Cayman Islands, and we see it's re-emerging differently than it emerged in other places because the Caymanians are different, and therefore that difference in their culture and cultural expression will be reflected in their behavior in organized situations. So I think that, I'm not trying to make a sort of academic discussion out of this, but I'm just suggesting that we have to organize our behavior, because if everything else in our society is organized, why is it that our political decisions before people take up office are not also organized? This is one of the reasons why it's only the wealthy now that is going to be the politicians, the merchant class, those people with money again, because the individuals that don't have those particular ties with the financial community will not be able to finance themselves when they're competing against people who are coming out of, for instance, out of the financial service industry. We're seeing that somebody coming out with millions, and another person that has good ideas, good intention, cannot put the funds together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Respectfully, thank you, and please accept the invitation if you have time to join us after 8:15 or thereabouts. All right, stay tuned for our news.
Thank you, Sterling. And studio time now, 3 minutes past 8, brought to you with kind compliments of Foster's.
Why is your drink so green? Is this some New Year trend?
Being healthy isn't a trend, it's a lifestyle, and I'm trying to do better, to be better.
Be better? Well, what's wrong with regular soda?
In moderation, nothing. But it's nice to have something nourishing.
Wow, you took New Year, New Me to heart.
You gotta when you're hoping to live well with Foster's and CG Brit K. It's a great free resource for healthy tips to help you achieve your wellness goals.
How do I start?
Check out livewell.fosters.ky and live well with Foster's and CG Brit K.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Island.
With a look at your latest news, I'm Dwayne Ebanks. Indigo Divers, a West Bay dive company, is speaking out following a series of social media posts that sparked controversy online. In several social media posts across platforms like Instagram and Facebook, the company referred to keeping, quote, riffraff off of their property. But the company owner says these comments were not directed at Caymanians as such behavior.
I'd come in the morning and you'd find beer cans or lines and hooks, people left over squid. Sometimes people would catch a fish and then they'd gut it and clean it, so there'd be guts and fish everywhere. And I have to say, I look at people, this is my front door. When I bring people, to my business, I bring my boat up and they come out to the dock to get on my boat, and I don't want them seeing garbage and fish guts and stuff like that. And we finally had enough.
Chris Alpers and his wife, who runs a dive shop adjacent to the West Bay Public Beach, says that in the past they didn't have a problem with people using the dock, but that persistent disruptive behaviors such as drunkenness was too much to handle, and it became inconvenient to their business, and when they would approach members of the public misusing their property, it wasn't received well.
Excuse me, it's private property, and they go, I don't see any sign, I don't know, so we wind up, spending money again to put signs up.
As a result of the misuses, signs indicating the parking lot was private property were erected, as well as a gate on the private dock. But Mr. Alpert says the comments seen online do not represent how he feels about local persons.
And I do apologize to the people of Cayman because this is in no way directed at them.
Mr. Alpers added that it was not directed at any specific individual or Caymanians on a whole, because most of the time they don't know who is using the land in that manner. There has also been issues with owners of other small companies using his dock without his permission.
If you ask, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But most people just assume they have a right to come and park or use the dock. What if I came to your house, you don't know me, I drove up, parked in your parking lot or your driveway, I got out with a 6-pack of beer, drank my beer, cleaned some fish, left it on your front step, and then drove away leaving my garbage.
Mr. Alper says they regret the way the social media posts were received, but highlight that their posts did not identify any individual or nationality, and describes the interpretation that many have taken it as unfortunate. He noted his deep affection for the Cayman Islands.
I'm not insulting Cayman. I love Cayman. I've lived here for 30 years, longer than anywhere else. And so I call this home, and I'm proud of it. And it was in no way intended to insult the people of Cayman. And if it did, I'm really sorry about that.
While interviewing Mr. Alper's West Bay South MP Dwayne Ebanks came to assess the situation for himself and to speak with the owners.
What they're opposed to is unlawful use of it, littering, loitering, and abuse of the property.
Mr. Ebanks says after speaking with the owners, he asked them to make a public post indicating that it was not intended to generalize against Caymanians. He also added that with private property comes rights and responsibilities, but that it was the way in which it appeared that sparked public outrage. Mr. Ebanks says he also discussed potentially removing the gates completely, but nothing has been finalized or agreed.
Who decides what is controversial? I don't think any of them are controversial.
Since the minority government gazetted the National Conservation Amendment Bill and the Referendum Bill, opposition members have voiced their concerns about the proposed legislation. However, the Deputy Premier is hoping that MPs can put politics aside as they set the order paper for the upcoming parliamentary session at the end of the month. In order to do that, the Honorable Kenneth Bryan tells Radio Cayman listeners the bills need to be, quote, successful through the Business Committee. However, opposition members on the committee have said publicly they will oppose allowing the controversial bills to land on the order paper.
As you know, this is a minority government. Part of the agreement on doing that is not to bring any controversial bills. In my humble opinion, this notion that a government should not bring a controversial bill is flawed. It's not the government that is passing it. The government of the day is the executive of the country. The parliament is a separate entity than the executive. It's the parliament that passes legislation.
Mr. Bryan, who is also a member of the Business Committee, will be urging members to allow the bills to go to Parliament so the people of the Cayman Islands can hear the debate and specific concerns from MPs directly.
For the opposition to say that they would not allow a bill to come to the floor of the House for discussion, analysis, so you can see the pros and cons and the country can hear both sides, I don't think it's because it's controversial. I think it's because they don't want the public to hear the fruits and the merits, pros and the cons of such a bill. And I think that's disappointing, to be honest with you.
Other bills the government is hoping to debate include the Customs and Border Control Amendment Bill, the Beneficial Ownership Transparency Bill, and the Anti-Sexual Harassment Bill. That is your latest news. I'm Dwayne Ebanks.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Time to rack up some extra Sir Turtle Rewards miles with the Cayman Airways Tampa airfare sale now on. Tampa sale fares are available for travel now through April 15th. But hurry, this sale won't last long. Book by January 27th. You can call 949-2311, contact a local travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 81 degrees. Relative humidity is 87%. The barometric pressure 30.05 inches and rising. The wind is north at 3 knots. Overnight low was 76. Synopsis indicate light northeasterly winds and slight seas accompanied with isolated showers are expected across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a cold front weakens as it approaches the western Caribbean. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the north. The forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Winds will be east to northeast 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate, with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tonight, mainly fair skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures falling to the mid-70s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet as well. Low tide will be this afternoon at 12:13, high tide this afternoon at 3:59, and a low tide again tonight at 2 minutes past 11. The sun will set this evening at 11 minutes past 6 and rise tomorrow morning at 2 minutes past 7. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through tomorrow morning. Thereafter, an increase in winds and seas is anticipated as an area of high pressure builds across the southeast United States, tightening the pressure gradient. A small craft advisory will likely be issued from Friday evening as fresh to locally strong winds and moderate to rough seas are forecasted. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community, a traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Top of the morning to you. Let's check in with traffic. Coming from the east on Shamrock Road, traffic is heavy. Delays expected, as well as on Linford Pearson Highway. Slow moving traffic on Cool Road heading to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Cool Road is moving on light to moderate. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing at a good pace in both directions. On the West Bay Road, traffic is steady but flowing, especially in front of the Ritz. Coming off of the Ashley Tibbetts Highway, steady but flowing traffic. Continuing on to North Sound Road, moderate flow of traffic heading towards the Industrial Park area. Owen Roberts Drive is flowing nicely. Edward Street, moderate flow of traffic. Into Georgetown on Shed Road, light traffic. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
There's nothing more important than your health, and seeking expert healthcare with physicians you can trust is what you deserve. UHealth, the University of Miami Health System, offers peace of mind to you and your family with a first-class experience. Our patient coordinators assist with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. As South Florida's only academic-based health system, UHealth offers cutting-edge treatment, compassionate care, and life-changing results just a flight away. Learn more at umiamihealth.org/international.
Dream Big Cayman. The Ministry of Education is here to help you make it happen. With overseas scholarships for the 2025-2026 academic year, you can receive up to CI $35,000 per year to study abroad. Whether it's your first step toward greatness or the next step in your journey, the possibilities are endless. But don't wait. Applications close January 31st, 2025. Visit moescholarships.gov.ky and make your move today. Your future is calling. Answer it now.
We give you honor and praise, adoration and glory.
Radio Cayman.
Praise time.
Praise him, praise him. Come and let's praise the Lord. Come and let's praise the Lord. Praise him in the morning and in the evening. Oh, let's praise the Lord.
Praise time in the morning.
Praise him, praise him.
Weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio Cayman, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite land. Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite land.
Praise time.
I know he cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise him, praise him, praise him.
Praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
on a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261. Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome back, and thank you for joining us. And hope you have, great plans for today and the rest of the week, through the month, the year, and maybe you have plans for what it's going to look like in 10 years. Perhaps you're considering retirement, whether that's going to be because you, in your mind, reached a particular age, or it's because as you program your life and make your investments, you got to that stage. Whether that's 60 or 50, maybe you decide, you know what, you're not going to retire. You're going to take on that endeavor that you've always wanted to. Well, if you plan and you prepare, you'll get it there. Hopefully with a positive, purposeful, prayerful perspective. Hey, 949-8037, 949-6990. Toll free with the compliments of Flo at 1-800-534-8255. Of course, you can WhatsApp 925-3261. Thanks again to Mr. Art for this opportunity to sit in. I won't endeavor to fill his shoes. It's not like that country song, who's going to fill their shoes? Nah, I love my country. I like calypso. I like classical. I like almost all kinds of music, I said music fills the soul, and as I've been hearing more often, music does not need permission. As I said, need not, music does not need permission to enter your mind. So be very careful what you take on board, what you allow your eyes and your ears to see and to hear, because it'll go into your spirit. That's my belief anyway. So let that be something that you like, the food that you eat. Let it be conscious and deliberate. Let it be as best for your body as possible, your spiritual body as well as your physical body. With that in mind, you heard the headlines, and I don't want to belabor it. I don't want it to become anything inflammatory. I don't want to even see the politicians, getting up on it and trying to score political points. Now, you can take it on board and say, well, that's a job at somebody. No, it isn't. It's a political season, and we see many people, as a fellow said yesterday, and as a wonderful colleague reminded me even, many of us understand how to do sound bites, and that's little or no value. We got a WhatsApp call coming in. We got another call coming in. It's time to take calls as we invite you to share. Do so as we go to the, what's that, the hard line? I don't know. Let's go to that line. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Hey, Sterling. How you doing?
I am doing very well. How about you?
I'm good. I just was calling about the new barriers they put up along the spot stretch.
Oh, yeah.
Wondering why they would block off right-hand turns to Poindexter Road.
Mm-hmm. No, I can't answer that for you, because
other
than what was shared in the press release as an attempt to try to make the roads safer and not have...
How does that make the road safer when you have people accessing that to go to the school and who live on that road?
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand. Are there people on that road that are complaining? You see, what I noticed when it came out that sometimes when we need to have persons represent us, we don't, and we have those that seem to have some sort of, I don't know, they're lobbyists, I suppose, that seem to have a louder voice than those, than the rest of us, and they can call the shots, and I don't see why you can't have access to two main arteries. You can have access on the left turn, but you can have access on the right turn.
Well, as you share that, I know more recent than the other example I give you, near the Savannah area, I've heard people talk about, not being able to make turns in the morning, not be able to go certain routes because of the same thing. But is it what someone called Old Prospect? Remember when they would sort of made some changes to how we access that road?
Still going through there.
Yeah. So is it then that, as you're sharing, the loud voice organized, the lobbyists, is it the people in the area? Is it something that benefits them at the expense of the wider country?
Well, I would like to know. I think they should issue a statement as to why they block access to the Poindexter Road and a right-hand turn coming from the Eastern Districts when we still have access coming from town.
Yeah.
That don't make any sense.
Because if you're coming from town, you can turn left, go there. But if you're coming from, let's say you up in Savannah somewhere visiting somebody up that area, you coming down. How are you going to get there? You have to go down to the roundabout then
And come all the
and
way
come back up.
Or you go back through the East Arterial Way from going back through Savannah.
Savannah. Okay, so
Just
yeah.
just some things in this island that I see take place. You got to sit back and just sort of shake your head. I mean, when you look at this whole spiel that's going on about riffraff, right away a statement should have come out from the government from yesterday that said something about that. That you're not going to tolerate that sort of
But
rhetoric.
hang on. Do you think, right, that statement was made, that one specifically, that one individual, but just generally, made one off by one person? Or is that the mindset that people had from day one and now they're feeling empowered, emboldened to do it because, or is it
They had
a frustration?
that from a long time. Or they wouldn't have put it up. People, exactly what you say is exactly what you think. It's one thing to step back in hindsight afterwards and say, boy, perhaps I shouldn't have used those words. Well, you did, and you actually put it in writing, which makes it even worse. So that shows intent. It means that they've had a mindset.
And you feel now,
we need to stop. We're such a minority in this country that we don't seem to have much say anymore. And it's getting worse, and the population's growing, and we can soon see where you never have sufficient Caymanians, born-bred Caymanians that have the ability to speak up. I noticed the list of those going around. I thought you were going to be on that list.
yeah, well, it might still be, I mean, we got...
I just don't see the right representation coming out. I'm a little perturbed, to be honest with you. I see some districts where they don't have proper challenging for the incumbents.
Yeah, well, yeah. Listen, I would endeavor to joke and jest, but there's sometimes when you just, live, love, and laugh and learn. But what about you? Maybe one day you'll try it.
Oh, that'll be another 4 years.
See, there you go, man. There you go. Mine maybe another 4 days. Who knows? No, I'm gonna slap you this one. Not literally, okay? Just me.
I got you. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents for the morning.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, thanks. Any more calls, Miss Susan? I saw the WhatsApp lighting up, but we'll get there when we get there. And if you are trying, the WhatsApp number is 925-3261. The other numbers are, as we call them, if people still have those, hard lines, 949-6-990, 949-837. Let's go take the call. Say welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Jordan Dwayne, my cousin Mario. How you doing?
Oh, Mario Ebanks. Ellie, what you say, man?
I haven't spoken to you since last year.
Boy, too bad, because, there's only a few weeks in, so you are right.
Maybe the year before, maybe.
Man, I don't know about you.
Anyway,
good to hear from you.
How you doing?
I listen, even if I wasn't doing great, I tell you I would be, because, we call those things that aren't as if they were. So I'm very thankful.
Yes, good. Well, all the best to you and your family for the new
Thank
year.
you. Likewise, my friend. Likewise.
Thank you. And I know that Mr. O'C is not there today, so I know you're a little bit not as busy this morning, I guess, and so I give you a quick call.
Thank you for that. Thank you. He'll appreciate that.
Sure, my friend. Just a couple of quick things. One is the big and obvious and needed outburst and outrage about the sign at the dock on Northwest Point Road and the riffraff and all that and all the stuff. Now, I'm not one to complain and to make songs about things and to make memes. I just like to talk about solutions, And I think that obviously that kind of mindset has been embedded for a while into people coming here, into new Caymanians and others, and or people really have bored up run of that kind of stuff and done it peacefully. But I fear that if it's not stemmed and stopped very soon, it's going to cause a major uproar in this very, very peaceful, beautiful Christian community that we have. Now, one of the things I would like to say about the solution to that whole thing, that whole mindset that that previous caller just talked about, is that we don't have any kind of orientation, cultural orientation, cultural sensitization of people who are coming into this country, especially first-time work permit holders. They don't understand our culture. The companies don't have any orientation. By orientation, what I mean is the introduction to Cayman, Cayman's culture, norms, values, etc. And our culture, as you know, as you well know, is very diverse because we have 110 different nationalities here. So Cayman culture is very subtle, right? It's there, but it's very subtle. So people come in here, all kind of mindsets and beliefs and values, and then impose that on us and make these kind of sweeping statements that may be okay in their culture, but in our small culture, it's not okay. But Dwayne, it's because there's no orientation of foreign workers. There's no orientation of drivers of these minibuses. There's no orientation of nobody coming in here, except in government service. You have it for teachers. I think teachers have an orientation week or whatever before the school starts, new teachers, and others can do it. And there's a couple 2 years ago, the late Mr. Dave Martins and Henry Matu, and I think a couple other people, I think Wally Whitaker was involved in it, maybe Mr. Steve McPhee was involved in it, tried to put together like a national orientation scheme where all new employees coming in had to do, and it was like a week program, 1 week, WEEK, 1 work week, where they were given information on the island, cultural sensitivity stuff, talked about our heritage, and they got a good idea what we were all about before they start to work and mix with Cayman. I think that's lacking, and I think it's needed, and I believe it should be instituted. When I was director of labor and pensions, when the health city folks was coming in, I was then a director, and I was appealing to the government and the promoters of health city at that time. Let's put together a proper orientation program for all of these, large amount of Indians that were coming into the country, so they'll understand Cayman culture, bedside manner, better understand our language and nuances. That was not done because for some reason they say, we'll do our own thing. It wasn't done. But I think that we need to have a national orientation program, Dwayne, for all foreign workers coming into Cayman, so they get a better understanding of us, and all that chat about riff-raff and all that kind of stuff that people throw around, publicly and privately, will hopefully go away. So I'd want to just leave that one point with you, Dwayne. The second point I want to leave with you is in relation to cruise tourism. Now, I know that cruise tourism is important to Cayman as a mix, but also it's also some threats and disadvantages. But, if we're going to do anything about cruise tourism, whether it's a pier or no pier, or whether it's permanent moorings, or whether it's putting something down by the turtle farm, a turtle setter, for a boat to tie on, or whatever we do, that's going to take a while to get done. In the meantime, we have to. The other week, before Christmas, there was a session in Georgetown Town Hall, the Constitution Hall, where the Minister for Tourism, the Deputy Premier, was there and answered a question. And somebody asked him, "Well, if this referendum gets passed and you're able to eventually start building these piers wherever they're going to be, which we don't know yet where that would be, that's going to take 3 or 4 years." Or the minister said probably take 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years to finish. The person asked, "So what's going to happen in the meantime?" And the minister said, "Well, once the cruise lines see this facility started, they will continue to come to Cayman." But that's 5 years, my friend. That's 5 years. Now, you think people are going to? You think the passengers, the passenger experience, where those folks are standing in the sun in the summer, or standing in the rainy season, and there's no restrooms, there's no benches for the old people to sit on. You think that's going to last? That kind of experience is going to sustain for 4 or 5 years while they wait for this facility to be done? I don't think so. We need to put in place now some kind of shelter and some kind of enhancement to improve the visitor experience for the cruise passengers in the meantime, and not wait until you have that grandiose, utopic solution, but have something in the interim. And so I want to leave that with you, as we need something in the interim if we're going to do cruise tourism at all, and if we're going to talk about doing any kind of pier or any enhancement.
Right.
Because what's happening there now is terrible.
Well, I appreciate you calling. I want to share maybe a couple of things. I just sent you a message. A listener asked you to call. I sent you the number. Just, yeah, a listener says, please ask Mr. Meyer to call, and they left the number, so I sent it to you. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Secondly, your point relative to the cultural sensitivity, I certainly, well, I needed to take the break. Appreciate that, but it's not just, as you mentioned, Health City, but the financial services, whether the employees are from South Africa, Canada, or wherever. So that sensitivity for those who come here, we need to make sure, like you said, the teachers get it, right? And then at some point when you have chance, relative to the cruise pair and your notion of doing something to improve and enhance the visitor experience, other than a covered shelter, the like, what can we do? What else can we do to make that experience memorable, pleasant? Maybe give some thought and tell us what you think.
A few thoughts. We could talk about a long time more about that.
Yeah.
Those topics, but I agree with you. I wasn't singling out health.
No, you weren't.
An
No, you
example,
weren't.
you know?
No, I understand that, but I'm saying that, like, as you say with the teachers, just overall, all the sectors, healthcare, financial services, and the like,
We need to Caymanians for Caymanians, and we got witness. When a room do as Romans do.
But-
and let's give people. But it's a two-way street, Dwayne, right?
Yeah, man.
Let's give people the tools that they need, and Caymanians understand them better. They understand Caymanians better. We have a peaceful, tranquil community and workplace, which is world renowned. That's what we're known for, friendliness, right? But let's make sure that Caymanians are not walked over all the time either.
Yeah, man. All right, talk to you again.
God bless. Thank you.
Blessings. Respectfully, we'll take the break. Mr. Art does it well. Let me try to follow suit. When we come back, we take the calls. Stay tuned.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
Shop at Funky Tanks, the home of electronics and more. Check out Funky Tanks' 2 locations, Shedden Road and Countryside Savannah, for loads of savings. In stock at Funky Tanks, both locations, stoves, fridges and small appliances, mini split air conditioning units, sheets and comforters, all sizes, window curtains, cell phones and telephone accessories, musical instruments, karaoke and Bluetooth speakers, portable radios and portable fans are now available. Get yours for your hurricane kit. Funky Tanks. For more information, call 949-0998.
This is For the Record.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for start for allowing me to sit in here as we take the next call. Welcome, thanks for calling.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, welcome, sir. Pleasure to hear from you. How are you?
Happy New Year to you, man. I'm doing fine. I'm actually doing fine.
You sound like you are, and Feliz Año Nuevo, man. The best to you as well, and the family.
Yes, I have 2 quick comments I'd like to make.
Yes, sir.
The first one concerns something that my good friend Mario just mentioned, it's called cultural sensitivity training.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first came out from the ministry, when I was Minister of Culture, after I demitted public office, several companies retained me to give cultural sensitivity training to their new employees. There is worth and value in that. And regrettably, too many companies that bring in large numbers of expatriates, they either don't see the value in it or it has not been impressed upon them that would make for great relations when you have new people coming into the society and they're working alongside Caymanian people or people who have been in residence in Cayman for some years. That's the first point. The second point is something which is more topical. That is the whole business of the comment about riff-raffs and the indigo divers. Now, I want to preface what I'm going to say by saying that no one has the right to disrespect another person's property, whether that person is a Caymanian or non-Caymanian. So I'm not giving anyone the right to go in on somebody's property and disrespect it. It's private property. But this problem could have been eliminated in the first place had we heeded the advice of a very sage commissioner here, Andrew Morris Gerard, who warned Caymanians about selling absolute titles to their properties to whom he called aliens. I'm a believer in that. I believe that no one who is not a Caymanian should have an absolute right to Caymanian property and territory. So I said this a long time ago, and that's how I got in trouble and got misunderstood. People call me communist, they call me radical, they call me socialist. But my point is taken. It doesn't preclude us selling leasehold. But if you're not a citizen, you can't own absolute titles to any property in my country, in my jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sell you a leasehold for 50 years or 99 years. But I won't sell you the absolute title because that belongs to the progeny of the Caymanian people. And Gerard set the template when he leased Benson Greenall all that property on the 7 Mile Beach for 99 years.
Right. But let me
tell him outright that. Okay, before I go on, before you come in, let me say something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What as Cayman developed, in my writings, I say there will be more of these kinds of contests because space becomes premium, and it is what academics call contested space. So you always have these kinds of challenges, and we have to be careful because these things bring social upheaval in other countries. Now, the last point I want to make on this is very profound. Those people could not have gotten away with that in Honduras, in Jamaica, in Barbados, or anywhere else, irrespective of the fact that the basic point they were making is absolutely correct and defendable. But you have to be careful how you use charged and insightful language. And as to the fact that they didn't mean it for Caymanians, almost thou persuadest me. Because what that tells me then is that they're not intelligent people because they engage their tongue before they engage their brain. There's a way to say that and make the differentiation without talking about riffraff. You come in my territory and call me riffraff? Man, you're lucky that you're still here. Because in other jurisdictions, they'd be on the next plane out. Try doing that in the Bahamas or Jamaica or anywhere else. So, enough said on that.
Right. Well, I appreciate you sharing, and because it's you, I think I can take the opportunity to exchange and engage, right? To your last point, well, actually, let's with respect to the call, let's take it quickly. The idea of the cultural sensitivity, I think, is timely, like you said, long overdue, and it should be across the board for all and sundry, right, as you shared. But the leasehold, if it's a 99 or 50-year leasehold, the person that's holding that lease is expected to be able to have a quiet enjoyment. So it's almost akin for the duration of that lease for that person to be able to treat that even mortgage it if it's of sufficient duration that the bank would take lien on it, even though it's leasehold. So
That's right. That's right.
that would
It-
not.
it- it-
Sorry, yeah,
that would not stop someone from developing their property or from going to get a mortgage
right. But
or
what
a
I'm
loan because you have it for 99 years or you have it for 50 years, and banks understand that.
right, but that would not still, during the duration at least, take away some of the things that I think we have where it's freehold. Now, the UK in 1925 when they passed their Land Act, recognizing what was transpiring, for centuries prior. The owner could dictate how the heirs were able to, use or not use the land. So leasehold versus freehold, given how they had it fee simple back then, it may be that it's not the way that the land is owned. Go back to our cadastral survey. Maybe it's the way the land is used and the way it's allowed to be used without us understanding. Take accesses to beach. Why are what we think is a prescriptive right only recognized if it's registrable when we think that, and I understand from the legal minds that it isn't? Is the problem then that we're not ensuring that people understand the landscape and abide by the cultural ethos?
Well, that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it. That's a great part of it. A lot of these misunderstandings emanate from a lack of cultural awareness and a lack of the mores and the practices and the traditions of the country. You see, what happens in the jurisdiction like Cayman? These people come in, the white people come in, and whom I call the expatriates, and they come in, and they take certain things for granted because they think the natives are stupid. They call us natives, which is a demeaning and a pejorative term. And so they believe because they have the money and whiteness of skin that we have all the rights. We're big and you are nothing without us. And so that's the problem. There is not an awareness of a mutuality of interest, and so as Cayman developed, as an intellectual and as an academic who studied this society, these kinds of contestations and disagreements are going to become more common. But what we have to be careful of is that they don't get out of hand and wind up in ways that cast a black eye on the society, because then no one really wins. So we have to begin now. And as Caymanans find themselves in a minority, I heard a young lady before, about 2 calls ago, made mention of that. We're going to get pressure now because we're in a minority in a jurisdiction where for years we were the only people. And so we what I call the centrifugal forces are aligning against us. And you know what happens then? We got to put up a resistance. And so all that we have to be careful of. I mean, these are things that anthropologists and sociologists and social historians study and know. So I say all that to say that we must be mindful now of the way we develop, how we develop, and ensure that the people who are coming in understand the cultural nuances of the society to which they are coming.
Yeah, and I certainly don't want to consume any more of your time, but if I may just put 2 other things again from your point. We talk now increasingly about air parcels, and I wonder to what extent we see the ramifications both from views but also from access to light as a structure that was built 10, 15, 100 stories. How does that affect? We see it in other jurisdictions where that lack of light affects the flora and fauna and even the enjoyment of public spaces, right? We can see it on West Bay Road. But to your last point, happy to engage with anybody. I've noticed very consciously, I heard it the first time coming into work, being part of that attempt to carpool, all Caymanians, and the driver in passing makes a comment. Check this out. Tell me if I'm wrong. We went to referring to foreign nationals as foreign nationals. That was our term, foreigners. I was introduced to the word expatriate in the 80s. Didn't know it until then. But now you just said it, and I've heard it increasingly, and I noticed it 15 years ago on that very rainy, Wednesday morning. We now call them white people. Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know, but I just think that, let me tell you something. In 1953, Andrew Morris Gerard, is the right description. He called them aliens. Aliens. That's what the Americans call us when we go there. We're not American citizens. They're aliens.
Right,
They're
right.
Foreign to the jurisdiction. Aliens is the right name. We call them expatriates. But aliens is the name that I prefer. And Andrew Morris Gerard, for those who don't know it, was a commissioner here. He was a Scotsman seconded here from Lagos, Nigeria.
Uh-huh.
He was the first British officer commissioner that the British extended his term because he did such a great job on opening up the development of the Cayman Islands. And he likened himself to the prophetess Cassandra of Greek fame, which was famed to prophesy accurately but not to be believed. And I tell all Caymanians, I used to tell my students at the University College, read Commissioner Andrew Morris Gerard's statements. Read his addresses to the Legislative Assembly. Everything he warned us against has come to pass because we were disobedient.
Right.
I'm impressed. I am impressed about what he talked about, planned development. And we didn't do that, and so now what we have. And so, no disrespect, but these people can't, I don't matter how many, they could be at 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, they're not in the same league as me, who traces his ancestry here from the 1760s. They can't. So what's 30 years against 300?
Yeah. Well,
and so it comes down to respect. If they don't respect us, they cannot expect us to respect them.
Yeah. Well, this is where I'm looking at what we have, and Mr. Ward, and I certainly invite you every time, whether with Mr. Ward or myself, to come on, share, not just your passion, but your life experience, man. And thank you very much, sir.
Have a great day.
You too, sir. And we're going to take the break, but as Mr. Borden reminded us, right, just like the word aliens, in reference to you going into a jurisdiction, as he talked about in the U.S., go back to when the now Premier was Speaker of the House, and she used the word strangers. That created, amongst many, this thing. What do you mean I'm a stranger? Well, it was a terminology, archaic as it may have been, but it was used in the context that was appropriate then, and we unknowingly perhaps don't appreciate it. But again, terminology does not necessarily excuse the use of words, but maybe it is reflective of the mindset. Let's pause, take a break, take the calls when we come back. Stay tuned.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I go in direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. You know, it's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic, no sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, you know. And I know one thing, I'm rocking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome back and opportunity to sit in for Mr. Art. I'm honored to do so. Invite you to join me, God's willing, in a few hours for more talk today. We can continue the dialogue. We got things planned with our good friends over at the Maritime Authority. Thanks to Mr. Borden for his always illuminating and insightful intellect that inspires us as we take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Morning.
Hey, morning, man. I hope you can get a chance to top of the line and pull in a nice jack or a koala or something, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen to me now, Dwayne.
Yes, sir.
You know, what really rings my bell, makes me go,
Oh, when you ring my bell, I want to charm, man.
So tell me something now. This man that built his dock, okay? All right. The man built his dock. People come out there, use the man dock, catch their fish, drink their beer. You mean you just can't wash out the man dock and carry your beer? Then, no, the man says riff-raff. Did the sign say, on a Caymanian riff-raff keep up with that? Hard to what I'm hearing, the sign said riff-raff, right? Now, the great Bob Marley just had 8,000 children around the world singing his songs. Now, listen now. The man say, I throw my corn and I call no foul. And who the cap fit, let them wear it. Now, Dwayne, you know that we got a lot of disrespectful Caymanians in our country. Because I'm a Caymanian and proud to be. And we got a lot of very, very disrespectful foreigners, expats, whatever. But I noticed that as Caymanians, we like to pick out the color white. All right? That's a business. But how much of the white people that are living and working in Cayman, that are robbing places, that are walking around with masks on their face and their pants and their ass showing on our street, how much of them are doing that? But because this man put up a sign, he's the worst thing that happened to Cayman since I won. No, you got God not that blowing stuff in the road, clogging up our dreams, which is punishable by $5,000 or 6 months or a year in jail. Because when you clog up your dreams in a disaster to flood out the area, can cause millions of dollars worth of damage. But we're not saying nothing about that. We're not saying nothing about the disrespect. We tell you something. When you were growing up, every Caymanian and met each other morning, oh, Dwayne, how you doing, boy? I say morning to some young Caymanian and they look at me like, what? You need medication or something? What? You fool for? I mean, like, you know, so, friends, hey, let me tell you something. Being in Cayman, bro, and you got Caymanians, and you got expats that are working. The government got a beautiful place down the west end, Scottsdale, called 70 Pier. Now, you can go out there on a Sunday morning, Saturday morning. There's beer bottles in the graveyard, on the wall, the graveyard wall, and there's garbage ponds right there provided. So that's not disrespectfulness. Come on, Maggie. We need to teach our people. Because
Yes, sir.
If you don't respect somebody property, whether it be a foreigner, but if you don't respect people, and you think you respect no one, right?
You need to respect yourself as well, right?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
If that was my property, I would have a really different thing on it because my place been broken into a couple of times, and I have a sign in my store now. If I find you here in the night, you will be found here in the morning. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And that ain't no riff-raff. That's real. You understand? So, we Caymanians, we have to learn to respect our place. Tell me something now. How come I not hear nobody calling on the radio about the two people down, and I hear the Jamaican National Wind Cayman startup, so they are Caymanians now, but want to kill each other with a shovel and not our tourists.
This was on the beach you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It was on the beach, and
Right.
I've seen the video,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure I'm not the only one seeing the video.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, and so the Caymania,
Yeah. I like what you're sharing, Mr. Davis, and this is where the discussion needs to be had. Yeah. Mr. Davis, thank you, sir. I do apologize. We want to respect the breaks, take a little more license and talk today and get a little more trouble there, but I'm a guest there, back there. I own the place. That's good. Thank you, sir. But let's pick that up when we come back. Join us after the break.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Dwayne Ebanks. The People's Progressive Movement will hold its annual conference on the 1st of March at the Kimpton Seafire Resort. Party leader Joey Hugh will lead the party into the April 30th general election, presenting their Cayman 4.0 platform to address key issues like the cost of living, environmental protection, immigration reform, and crime prevention. The conference will include election of new party leaders and ratification of candidates. Registration opens at 5:30 p.m. with proceedings starting at 6:30. PPM says they aim to return to government, emphasizing fiscal responsibility, crisis management, and their message, time for progress, progress for all. In regional news, the Court of Appeal ruled in favor of the Guyana Teachers Union, rejecting the government's application to stay a previous ruling mandating the continuation of union dues deductions and their remittance to the GTU. Justice Don Gregory upheld the ruling, emphasizing the undue prejudice to GTU if they were granted. Despite clear judicial orders, the government has failed to comply, prompting GTU to consider further action. Attorney General Anil Nandal expressed his intention to appeal the decision to the higher courts. The Jamaica government has appointed Professor Dale Weber, a former principal of the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies, as the country's first special envoy for climate change, the environment, and the blue economy. Minister Matthew Samuda highlighted the need for this role due to the increasing demands on countries to participate in climate and environmental fora. Weber's duties will extend beyond Jamaica, addressing global issues like climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. That is your latest headlines. I'm Dwayne Ebanks.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the Salad Bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
For the Record with Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Where are we going to go, Miss Susan? Wherever we want to go. Well, the phone lines are open and available to those who want to call and share their thoughts. 949-888-3037. If you think that sounded weird, that's how it will echo sometimes. So 949-8837, 949-6990. The reason I did that is sometimes we don't hear. And when we do hear, it sounds different. So are we listening to understand, or are we listening to respond? Are we listening intently? And this comment about riffraff, or heaven forbid, when it was shared about driftwood, when we are inflamed, when we are hurt, some talk about hurt people, we need to stop, maybe step aside for a second and recognize that there's much transpiring. And many of us, myself included, lose our patience or cool. Some of us have exhibited a sense of self-control, or so we think, and you just need to push them a little bit just to get their true character. Watch it with a politician. He twists and he turns. You can see the anger, but he's trying to play to the camera, to pander to some pulpit, to try to placate, some other space. But to their own self be true, and if we see the true nature of people. But sometimes it's just giving the people, the opportunity, the invitation to come on board. And what is happening globally, and I would want to say that we emphasize what is happening locally, we need to ensure that it is for the betterment of the country, to bring greater unity and stability economically, politically, but socially. I'll share this as the last callers were sharing, maybe to ask ourselves, are we in fact increasingly becoming more and more disrespectful? Whether we go back generations, whether we only been here for minutes, there are some of us who, as Mr. Elvis just shared, use other people's property and disrespect it. We believe that we can trample it, whether that's kicking open the front door and walking in, whether we look in and go, oh, that's not open, it's just ajar, and we go in, whether that's over someone's empty land and we dump our clippings from our yard or garbage, or whether we go to the public spaces like Barkas or the beaches or the parks, or whether we go on private docks. There's a growing disrespect in this country from a lot of us. Let's not do that. That's not who I think we should be as people, and it certainly isn't what we as a country should acknowledge, accept, allow. In fact, we need to openly sanction. If there's anything that Mr. Kenneth Bryan has shared that I'll probably always remember and believe, that whatever people may have said about him and why he said it, I think it's something that should have been said. We're becoming too nasty. You were familiar with the word, people are becoming fathers. A nice little local colloquial term that many of us probably don't know how to spell and very rarely have heard recently. We need to take pride in the country. We need to take pride in ourselves. We need to take more pride in the space that we occupy. We need to have more self-respect in order to respect others. But there are people who, they don't understand because they haven't been taught, told. There's no example to follow, irrespective of where they come from or how old they are. And there are some people, they're just arrogant to the point where they become insolent. And that insolence translates into ignorance. Now, this sounds harsh. Hey, help me to say it better. But your mom will tell you can't hear, you can feel. The solution, nor the answer, isn't in violence. It isn't in, getting up and thumping your chest and try to beat some soundbite because it is political expedient to do so. But the answer is in standing together, in recognizing that some practices, may creep in over time because nobody speaks against it publicly and properly. We sadly, and again, my view, the police need to do that. No, a country that does not have the need for a formal police nor a formal prison is a better country. But that country will have enforcement, whether you call it a judiciary, council of elders, the society enforcing the accepted ethos that is becoming, so known to everybody that you don't, dare go against that accepted ethos. Whether it's not littering in spaces, whether that's not driving without your seat belt, or what have you. But we have come to a space where it almost like a free-for-all, not the lawless Caymanas as we hear about it, but people who have no sense of where they're going, no example that is worthy to follow. They spend so much time, consuming this thing they call social media that they have no recognition of who they are, where they are, or with whom they are, surrounding themselves, following fools. Mama say, Jack jump off the cliff, you go follow fashion, bring broke neck. I had, wish that as a friend had visited recently that we'd had opportunity to spend more time together, but she reminded me that we see increasingly, just in the region, re-emergence of the peoples of that particular, now independent nations, exhibiting a greater respect for who they are, the way they speak, recognizing that at some point in the past there probably were, told that to sound like that, to look like that, they were not able to achieve, attain, or be respected. Sounds familiar? Maybe it's the same thing that we were told we believe. Well, intelligence isn't because you have an accent. Intelligence, well, let's take this call on the WhatsApp. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. How are you today? Hello? As we try to answer our WhatsApp call. Welcome. Thanks for calling. Okay, I'm not able to hear the caller. If you are there and you want to get back on, try us again. WhatsApp number 925-3261. The other numbers to call 949-6990, 949-6990, 949-8037, as well as toll free 1-800-534-8255. For the record, goes until just before 10 a.m. We're certainly going to do our very best to be as respectful and do that sterling effort that Mr. Art brings to us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Honored to sit here. It takes a lot to plan and prepare, to facilitate, to encourage, to motivate people, but also to welcome them so they feel that this is a good space. They can share their views, let their voices echo and hopefully resonate with others. But we got to do it responsibly and respectfully. Now, there are some people who, just by their sheer nature, they're offensive, they're egregious. It's not their foul smell from them. It's not the frown or the sourness of their face. It may be their life experience. What's that country song? Life, made her that way. She's been walked on, stepped on, so many times. You know what? And I hate to admit it, but the last footprint's mine, right? So what is that footprint you're leaving? Like that. So what are we doing to add value to others? And there are some people that, they were never any good. That's just how it is. But it doesn't mean that everybody's that way. And in 1,000, you find one. Hey, there's one. We got to keep working and looking and loving and learning and living and trying to be our best. If you wish to get on the air and you call in the WhatsApp number, you have to call using the WhatsApp 925-3261. Any of the other numbers you can call regularly, 1-800-534-TALK. That's 1-800-534-8255. You can dial 949-6990 or 949-8037. Not because somebody says something that sounds good that's right. Not because somebody says something that doesn't quite sound like it, makes sense that it isn't, right. What has to happen is we say it in love and respect and responsibly. We try to hear it and take what your mom will say, pick sense from nonsense. But this country is increasingly getting to a space where everybody, maybe it was those injections that people were forced to take, maybe something in the water, in the air, who knows what it is. There's a lot of stress and frustration. And increasingly there are a lot of people seemingly flexing their muscle as if they're some sort of god or the like. Probably just some demon possessed. But there are many of us who don't understand the importance, of being the very best as often as we can, giving our utmost always. Good follows good, and in doing good, it doesn't mean that you don't correct people. Those of us who are good friends to the people in our circle are there to help and support and nurture, but also to draw alongside and guide and direct, and to tell them before the thing unfolds of the harm that could happen. Guide them. Don't abandon them. Are we taking the next call, Miss Susan? We're going to take a break, and then we're going to take our callers. Stay tuned if you can. Join us after.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I go in direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. It's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic, no sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, And I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
You're invited to join the March for Jesus in Cayman Brac on Saturday, the 25th of January, starting at 4 p.m. at the Port Authority and then going down to Watering Place Gardens, followed by the praise and worship concert at the same venue starting at 6 p.m. Together, let's march for Jesus. For more info, visit www.christian.ky and click on the March for Jesus tab. Jesus is our only hope.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
Has your child been diagnosed with ADHD, or have you been told to seek an assessment for your child based on certain hyperactive, inattentive, or impulsive behaviors? Then the Family Resource Center's Understanding ADHD virtual workshop can help. The workshop supports parents' understanding of ADHD, parenting strategies for children with ADHD, and other useful information to support your child. Contact Family Resource Center at frc@gov.ky to reserve your spot for this free workshop.
With Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. It's open line here. Thanks to Mr. Ort for, trusting me to sit here I want to do a respectful job and almost as good as he does. So let's take this next call, and I'm going to read a message from one of our listeners as well. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning, Dwayne. I'm a concerned Caymanian, born and bred. I'm concerned, one, with the bypass that they now want to put in going from Newlands to Frankstown.
Okay.
The problem I see with that is that we had the same situation when they did the Newlands bypass, and it was said that there would be no subdivisions in there. Now there's nothing but subdivisions in there. The same thing gonna happen with the Frankstown one. And the more subdivision, the more houses, the more cars, the more thicker traffic to deal with. Now that money that they're gonna spend to put that in, why don't they do it? Can be done in the United States, and I don't see why it can't be done here. If we can build the 20-story buildings and the 15 and 10-story buildings like they do, why can't we build a highway over the road that we now have? In each district, started from Frankstown, because North, Side, and Eastern really don't have the traffic jams that we have from Bordentown going into Georgetown. Put a highway, you'll get on, you pay a toll to help maintain and to pay for the building of the highway, and you go straight. Wherever you come off, once you come back on, you have to pay a toll. And I'm certain, because within 20 or 30 minutes, you could be to Georgetown. You would have no buildings, no incoming traffic. Look at spots. That's another disaster, in my opinion, because if two cars are coming on the eastbound side of that road, and one run into the back of the other one, you're gonna have a traffic jam that's gonna bring you all the way back to West Bay. That is foolishness. Why didn't they put cameras up? Why didn't they get start a highway patrol? Don't depend on the police. Train people. Put them there. And look at the times that those serious accidents are happening. It's late at night. So have the patrol out there late at night, booking the people for speeding and for drinking and driving. Simple. It can be done, and it should be done.
Well, Mr. Edan would say it can be done. Yes. Now, when you say a highway, you're talking about those overpasses, those elevated structures above the existing walls, like what Trinity's talking about, the flyovers. I mean, highway?
Yep, the highway over the original road that we now have here.
Okay.
You could build a highway straight over that. You know, because in the second thing, there would be no way that people would be able to build up there, right? So it would be just. I mean, I know you've been to the States many times, and you've driven on those highways many times. So there's no reason why we can't have it.
Yeah, I think that perhaps part of the challenge. I was just, as you were sharing, I tried to find it back. I had a number of students, and it was 10 plus years now. These are high school students, some getting ready to graduate, some only entering high school. And what you were sharing, they were asked to sort of brainstorm, give us some ideas of what Cayman needs to do. And just like what you just said, they suggested that partly because maybe their parents, partly because their teachers, partly because of travel. But they're thinking, so if you were right, why are we not looking at it? Now, there's going to be a cost, but why are we not considering some of these things as potentially, maybe viable solutions?
It would be a viable solution, but you see, I'm going to be honest with you, right? The government would have to spend some money, but if they just put this road, go through to Frankstown, wherever, and all those subdivisions open up, planning will make money, Water Authority will make money, CUC will make money. But that's not the thing, man. Think about the traffic.
Yeah.
Think about the traffic, because if you can't stop me from selling my land if you put a road through for me to have it. No. If the government wanted to be, I go to the word aggressive, declare that none of that property could be used for subdivisions other than farming and cattle ranching. No houses, no subdivision in there. That is what I would suggest if they don't want to go above. But we had the same foolishness the politicians talked about with the Newlands bypass. Oh, there won't be no subdivision, and they're all going to be straight. And look at it today.
Yeah.
If you ever come out by just after you cross countryside coming east, that subdivision there. If you try to come up through there, because what the people do is the bypass, they go down into that road behind Foster and they come out up through that subdivision, and the road is jammed up there again.
Mm-hmm.
It's ludicrous, man. Just spend the money. Like I say, you'd be surprised how short a time out. Even I live in Bordentown, and I want to go to Georgetown, and I don't want the traffic. And I know if I get on that bypass on the highway, I'm gonna pay $1, right?
Mm-hmm.
$5 in each day for 5 days working, and come about $10 a week for me to use the highway, where I don't have no stress. I don't get a road rage or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seems to me like, I hate to say that, but it seems to me like we can't get nobody that got enough common sense to look after these things and see the liability.
I'll use a word. Yeah, I'll use a word with you, and it's interesting how our parlance has been allowed to be relegated to the margin where it becomes misunderstood. So, Ms. Susan, this is not a bad word, even though it sounds, like the word asinine sounds like a bad word, right? It isn't. You know that word that we used to use before we no longer use? Asfumas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Asfumas.
Yeah. And that's...
we know from day one that's how the government works.
Right. Okay. So, and if you're not sure what our word is, if you're you've not heard it in a long time, it's not a bad word, It's just that, so in saying that, let me invite you, and I want us to start to challenge what is, and like you doing, question, well, what isn't, right? I'm not sure, let me directly. I don't believe, relegating, say, the people that have that land, they can't do any kind of development on it, just strictly for farming or commercial, but I think they all can coexist. But that aside, let me ask a question though. We're talking about banning cars. We put limitations on the year of cars. You and I may love cars. We may have 100 cars. We may be like Jay Leno. I can't drive more than one car at a time, right? I could drive one car every day if I have 365 cars. So, to your point, the problem isn't the number of cars. Maybe it's the safety of cars, the type of car that may be unsafe, but that's a manufacturing issue, right? Why are we not then looking at roads and some sort of mass transit like thing, whether it's a tram or rail or the like? Do you have any idea why we've ignored that all along?
Well, I think one of the reasons why a tram car through the island wouldn't really work good, because if people got to be to work at 7:30 in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got as the island progress and move forward, you're gonna have situations where people will go on strike. Drivers of the buses, the drivers of the trams will go on strike. But if you have a highway and you have toll gates, right? For instance, say, okay, let's say you start the road from Frankstown, right? And people will
sorry, we're losing you. I don't know if that's like the cell or the connection. Yeah, it's a little echo in and out, so we lost you. So Frankstown.
Yeah, Frankstown. As I say, you hear me better now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I haven't moved, but I don't know. Sometimes my phone is getting old, like me.
No. I believe getting old is only make it better. Well, that song is. I got working old thing.
About wine, they said the older the wine get, the better it is. So
you know what? Let me just listen to you.
73. I'm almost 73, so I guess I'm starting to ferment good now.
No, man, no. You just come into your stride now, man. I pray God give you another 50 years at least.
Thank you.
Right.
But yeah, what I'm saying is, if we put a toll booth like they have in the United States, and I believe we got it in Jamaica too. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I know you have the toll where you stop and you pay your $1 and you go right through. Okay, people here in Bordentown, stay down by the Church of God. Here in Bordentown, you would put, or I would go a little bit further down beyond the primary school. You put another exit and an entrance onto the highway. People in Bordentown, Belford, all in these areas here would be able to enter and then go on. People down in Prospect, put one in, then go right down to town. But it seems like nobody thinks that would be a good idea, so they don't want that. But the truth in it is, we are catering too much for the foreigners and not thinking of ourselves. The other thing that I wanted to mention is, years ago when Gilbert McLean and Roy them was in house, there was a suggestion to ask the business people them to build, move their businesses out of town towards the eastern districts. You know, for instance, if I can just jump on one there right now, Royal Bank of Canada. Suppose Royal Bank of Canada had built their business up this way, like for instance between Bordentown and somewhere in between Georgetown, Bordentown. The staff that are up here in this eastern districts wouldn't have to get into that 7 o'clock rush, that 5 o'clock rush. Trust me. I take somebody to the airport one morning for the flight to Jamaica and coming back. I was surprised. I was so surprised to see the amount of car bumper to bumper going to town. Why can't we move some of those offshore businesses, those businesses that work on computer and things, move them up this way? That would be another solution. That would be another ease of the traffic. But they don't think that way. They think only of, let's do this. A subdivision, put in water authority, gonna make money. The CUC gonna make money, and then we gonna make money off of them.
But
Planning gonna make money off of it, off of giving permission to build, so all that kind of thing. So, oh man, they're just looking at their pockets. They're not looking at the long term. I tell you the truth. I believe I'll be dead and gone, but I know for sure my great-grandchildren gonna have serious problems driving to Georgetown if they fool with this foolishness. Every corner they put in a subdivision. No, something has to stop. Something has to stop. And this is the best time to do it, because when the traffic really getting so bad on our younger generation, it's gonna be worse than it's gonna be not feasible because of the traffic and things. Now we got it, we can do it. Let's do it while we can. Okay, yes, we're gonna spend money, go to the World Bank and borrow some money, but I guarantee you that it will pay off for itself.
What I appreciate
other highway that they have built in the United States, and every toll group, they have paid off for them for the highway, right? So I don't see why we can't do it. If we can build the same type buildings they're building over there, then why can't we build a road like they're building?
Maybe we see do the channel between the UK and France.
Are we that dumb?
No, it's a lack of will. It's a lack of respect. But anyway, thank you for sharing, sir. Anything else before we take the break?
Let me close this one with you.
Yeah.
I am disgusted with the situation, with the government employing people from overseas. They come here, they buy boats, they go fishing, they catch a fish and undersell us, the Caymanians, that are trying to make a living by it. Like I told you, I'm 73. I don't have no more work. I live off of fishing. And they're underselling us. That is wrong. They should have no other source of income while they're here. The second thing they do, they get job with the government, try and get contract. They go to the bank, they get money, they build house or buy house, and then rent that out, and the government is paying for them in apartments wherever. That's ridiculous and that's wrong. I really pray and hope to God that if the new government, one of the new governments, I should say, that are trying to get in, if they get in, they would do something better than what is being done right now. Dwayne, you have a good day, and
thank you.
I listen to your show more than often whenever I can, and I also love OC. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful time, and I just glad that I could voice my opinion on what's going on.
Well, thank you. You're most welcome, and thank you for taking time to voice what you want to share. As we say, if your voice not making sense, because you're not sharing it, thank you very much. And I say this publicly and sincerely. My prayers for your continued health. I would, as we take the break, ask our people. Gentleman says he's 73. Listen to the active, engaged, informed, agile mind that he has. Age is, irrelevant many times. You take your life experience, you take your expertise, you recognize that you get to a space when it's then that you have to speak respectfully, as he done, responsibly, willingly. And that's one of the challenges. There is a lack of will and a willingness to stand in the gap and do the right thing. Listen, Mama said, "Up and who frighten you." Stand up. You don't need to be bunctious. You don't need to have a gun. You don't need to bully. You don't need to be these things. You just need to be loving. Let's pause and take the break. Take the calls. We ending at 10. No, we're going on. Well, that song is, we not going home? No. So we got less than 26 minutes. Join us after the break.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I go in direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. You know, it's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic. No, sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, you know? And I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
Shop at Funky Tanks, the home of electronics and more. Check out Funky Tanks' 2 locations, Shedden Road and Countryside Savannah, for loads of savings. In stock at Funky Tanks, both locations, stoves, fridges and small appliances, mini split air conditioning units, sheets and comforters, all sizes, window curtains, cell phones and telephone accessories, musical instruments, karaoke and Bluetooth speakers, portable radios and portable fans are now available. Get yours for your hurricane kit. Funky Tanks. For more information, call 949-0998.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome back, and thank you so much for this distinct honor, privilege, and pleasure. And I trust and pray that I'm not only resourceful and respectful, but in facilitating a discussion, I'm encouraging, inviting, and hopefully somewhat informative, but at least making the platform available. As we take the next call, let's go to the phones. 9:38. We end at 2 minutes to, so 20 minutes ago. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Hello.
Yo, Rambo, what's happening, man?
Well, Sterling, good morning, man. Sterling, respect, man.
Respect, bro.
Sterling.
Respect. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but yesterday, my input yesterday talk about Trump in the revenue stream, came out context. But two time were limited. You know, I went to specifically what came on domestic affairs. Sterling, listen, it came on now, most of voters have a tendency of amnesia. That's what I'm saying. But we're here this morning on different forums and platforms. Distraction. Okay? So I get to my point now. Because what the callers meeting and defending. Sterling, you see, we silly season now, right? Silly season. Right? So it's not a political experience. So who have a gain, advantages of it, in efficiency, in profitableness. You feel me? So, the end of the day, Sterling, if we don't make the money, or it makes sense, taxation, we don't know representation. Right? Because when it comes to like the immigration reform, obviously it's a new formal revised. It's a betterment, remodel, so you curtail it. So the whole thesis of it, Sterling, in a new immigrant like a process now, high end to low end, they need to get taxed whatever bank transaction. Point blank. You feel me? Because when the immigrants sending the money to the courier, remittance courier, at the private sector, you understand? But at that time now, just to resolve everything. I mean, people might feel by seeing now, but who know me, analyze by seeing. But it's our time now. It's a distraction, right? We got like, but nowadays, I'm accounting to election. You feel me? But it's our time now. It's our time. Right? Because we need a proper engagement for Cayman and revenue. And that's one factor. Right? Because we do fractions. The top number is numerator. The bottom number, the denominator. So it's our time now. You feel me?
Yeah, man.
Sterling, if you let me go February, you and I, February.
Yeah, man.
Serious.
Yeah, you just tell me as we talked about. You let me know when.
Yeah, you know where to go. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Respect, man. Have a good morning.
Have a good day, bro. Talk to you. All right. Let's take some of the calls. Thank you for sharing with us. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Mr. Sterling.
Hey, B, what's going on in your land? Morning to you, man.
Oh, not too bad.
Just one bad? My dad say not too bad and just one bad.
I agree with what the older gentleman was saying, with the highways, stuff like that, and in some businesses, you gotta, I agree that you should, I wouldn't say move completely businesses, but, you have different branches, you got the banks, you put some other branches up east way, kind of sort of deal with the traffic and because it's so many people that got to come to town, make it a little easier. People in other districts, move some because the population, as the population grow, I think that is a big part of the problem because everyone is hating. License department, this department, government buildings, everybody gonna come right down. If they can have some other branches, say for example, and up the, the east side and, other places, I think it would help with the traffic and help with not only traffic, but with things happening, things developing, government offices work,
Yeah, no, you make a good point. Remember now that Mr. Charles Clifford, as that part of that Go East initiative, right? But to complement what you're saying, not only could businesses, whether government entities, employ people in that area or, have offices, but we have technology. In the 90s, the buzzword was telecommuting. During the house arrest, everybody had to work from home. We saw that was, from some people, very effective, very cost effective and efficient for businesses. So why can't we do that? Why does everybody have to get in, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, whatever the time of day is, to the same space at the same time? Could we not work?
Man, I'm telling you, that's terrible. That's terrible. The traffic is bad. So I agree with him. I think he's right on that, and it would help legislation to deal with the traffic and
But to your point, right? And I think we should miss it. Are we seeing the cost of when people are in traffic going into it? The human cost, the loss, productivity, the impact on the vehicles, on the person. You sit in that car, whether you're being frustrated, you're not having time with your family, you can't exercise, you're eating late, whatever you're doing, right? Remember when Mr. Joey Hugh was responsible for roads While I heard this roundabout, I don't know what in the world it did, but it did it over a number of times because the road seemed to was sinking. I mean, they built it on a swamp, and they put some mesh in, and then they did it again, and they did it again. A fellow, and I took him to task because I consider him a good friend. He has a great intellect. His job in the past was one where he could do this analysis, and he did it privately, but he would not give me permission to share it publicly. He evaluated, as part of our traffic study, as part of the impact of the delays over that extended period of time while that work was being done. And he had calculated the amount of people that were in traffic. Now, I know we have a WhatsApp call coming in as well. And the lost hours of productivity, his calculation based on a simple assessment from one perspective. If everybody in that was being paid the minimum wage, and if they were, imputed to be paid more, you're talking about tens of millions of dollars just in lost wages or costs. So are we seeing, as the caller earlier said, we do have a bypass of sorts. We take you 20 minutes to get from East End to Georgetown, as opposed to 4 hours. So
yeah. You're right about that. I mean, that's something has to be done because I mean, what if someone lives up the east side and the car start to have a problem with the radiator or something like that? I mean that's terrible. And then they go to work it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Having little engine problems, and I'm sure a lot of people having problems like that.
Okay,
So.
I'm gonna ask you if you want some else to share. If not, I want to try to do what Mr. Art does. Now, I won't take the breaks, but I also get the other callers. So we got one break. Thanks very much, sir, for sharing. And then we take the other calls, all right?
All right.
Have a good day. Talk to you hopefully later, God's willing.
You too.
All right. We're going to pause. Look at that. Almost on time, Miss Susan. Aren't you proud of me? Stay tuned and join us after the break.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Time to rack up some extra Sir Turtle rewards miles with the Cayman Airways Tampa airfare sale now on. Tampa sale fares are available for travel now through April 15th. But hurry, this sale won't last long. Book by January 27th. Call 949-2311, contact a local travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome back, and thank you very much for joining. Hopefully I do a good job and get invited back. And if I do, you'll have good chocolate to share with me. Let's take the WhatsApp call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Hey, good morning, OC.
Hey, good morning there, Sterling. How are you?
I mean, Mr. Sterling.
How are you, man? How are you?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good.
Yeah, man. Listen. Next time I get over to the bracket, I got to make you know that I come in so that I just don't come in and leave, So,
yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for taking time to call, man. Thanks for taking the time to call.
Yeah, no problem, bro. No problem. Just trying to get over this dilemma they have in Caymania with these people labeling people around the place as riffraffs. I mean, in my days of growing up, one of the things we would rip your head off for would be if you call us a riffraff. That's a dog name. We took it as a dog name. And Caymanians got to stand up for these kind of things and do not allow these kind of things to happen. They can see that our government not doing nothing to prevent these kind of people coming into the country and discrediting us. Discrediting us, Sterling. But yet they say that we discriminate against the ones that coming into Cayman. We are looked at as riffraffs, whether they mean it to Caymanians, the foreigner, the Filipino, the Jamaicans. It doesn't matter. It do not matter. It has to be labeled across the board to some certain Caymanians because other people use the place to fish and do what they do there. Why it is that our laws are not for Caymanians and only for the foreigners that come here. It make us feel like when they see us in the stores or in the bars or the restaurants, they look at us like we ain't nothing. I'm so sick and tired of it around here. I mean, when people look at me, I say, listen, this is Cayman. This is Cayman Brock. I'm a born Georgetowner, and you can't take that out of me. I got dyed this color, and I got dyed this ugly. I might be more handsome than some, but I'm more ugly than a minute too. And that not gonna change me. But our laws need to step up for the people of the Cayman Islands. These kind of people coming inside here and being called, labeling us as these kind of things, automatically they should be fined. The government should fine them. They would never ever mention any such thing out their mouth again to label people as such. That's a disgrace to our little islands, and we don't have no representatives to come on the radio and talk about these kind of things this morning. That should have been the first thing the politicians come on, or legislative people come on and speak regarding, put some hope to the people that we have a hope, knowing that we're not just riffraffs and garbage to these foreigners that come here and look down on us this morning, Sterling. That's a shame, man. That shouldn't happen.
Well, it's anyway. Yeah, man. I'll leave it for there now. Maybe I'll prayerful have something to share after. But before we take the next call, anything else you want to leave with us?
No, man. That's cool. Next time I'll call you on something else.
Yeah, man. Thank you too. All right, one more call. Why don't we take another call and 50 more probably? Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Morning, Sterling. How you doing?
Hey, good to hear from you, man. Whether it's in the morning or the afternoon, as Susan say, any time is a good time. How are you, man? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. I just called. I don't know if it's okay if I change the subject.
Listen, no, it's not. We're talking about it. No, of course it is, man. You can talk about anything you want.
Yeah, I mean, so last night I attended the North Side public meeting on the East-West Ontario Road update. And I just wanted to highlight a few things that became very obvious to everybody that was in the hall last night for the few people that did come. And and the reason why I chose to just call you now to mention it now, because I think it's important that the general public, especially those people who didn't have an opportunity to go out there. The next meeting is in Barton Town on Thursday night, but not everybody can go to these meetings. So the Radio Cayman is a great platform to try to get some information out so people can have some sort of idea of what's taking place, So, excuse me. So we saw a headline a couple of weeks back, or not so long ago, saying that this road was going to cost up to $1 billion over 50 years and would be completed by 2074. Some ridiculous headline, and I think it was one of the other news platforms. I won't call any names, obviously, but I thought it was a bit ridiculous when we saw the headline talking about $1 billion to build this road, when we know that that's not necessarily true. But to my surprise, when I went to the meeting last night and I saw the reason why, Sterling, I understand now. Because this whole exercise, and I don't know how much money we've spent on this EIA and this assessment that they presented last night. I don't know yet. I plan to file an FOI to find out exactly how much money we spent on this foolishness that they presented last night. Now, when we looked at it, there were all of these glossy print photos of where the road is proposed and different proposals and whatnot. They had an estimated of 16 bridges in Sterling, 16 bridges, all of over 300 feet long each, and they were diverting the road to go through people's farmland and avoiding National Trust land. And this is the sort of thing that no one paid attention to. And not only that, the road was 20 feet above sea level. 20 feet above sea level. Let that sink in. Okay? So the amount of aggregate and infrastructure that would need in order to build that road would definitely be $1 billion. But guess what, Sterling? That was only one of the options. They never once in the presentation talked about the latter options that the road would probably only cost 30-40 million. They didn't discuss that. So I am super concerned because we had a lot of people there from departments that's supposed to be protecting the interests of the Cayman Islands. I understand that we got people who protect the environment, and we need those people, but we also need people that are going to protect the best interests of the citizens of this country too, because we may not be a part of the natural environment, but we are certainly a part of the environment. So if we're going to take the position that we're gonna spend millions of dollars to do a report so that we can tell ourselves that we can't afford this road, so that we can deter doing the road, knowing very well that we need the road for many, many, many reasons, not just for traffic, but for emergency situations and whatnot. And I can tell you, last night I was disgusted. I was absolutely disgusted with what I saw there. And I saw head of departments there, people who are in the center of controversies with the National Conservation Bill and all these different things. And it's really upsetting. And I advise anybody to go to the NRA website, Facebook page, and they can watch the last night video of the whole meeting, and they would have an understanding of some of the questions that was asked by Mr. Arden McLean and Ezra Miller and Joseph Woods, and different people asked a few very reasonable questions. And then that's when it was revealed by the panel, oh, well, yeah, there are other options that are far cheaper. Out of the $1 billion, let me explain this, Sterling, so the listening public can understand. Out of the $1 billion projected that one of the local print media, well, not print media, one of the local news platforms emphasized to scaremonger people into thinking that this was undoable. Oh, it's going to cost $1 billion. Out of that $1 billion, the 16 bridges that they proposed was going to equate for 50% of that cost. Now, in between each bridge, Sterling, they had these pipe drainages. So the question was asked, oh, well, can we not have to build the bridges and just put the proper culverts under the road? Oh, yeah, that can be done, but we didn't project that wasn't part of this projection. But they were willing to hang $1 billion on our head, knowing that was the most expensive option that was there, And they were talking about 50-year storm surge, and we all know that Ivan was only 20 years ago, and in some places we had up to 8 feet of storm surge. So this road is 20 feet above sea level, which is 12 feet above what Ivan brought in here. So there was no need for the road to be 20 feet above sea level, because if sea surge was to get to that in the middle of the island where the road is being proposed, and if the water was 10 feet in there, the rest of Cayman would be underwater. We'd all be drowned.
So we all go on that road to be safer?
No. What I'm saying, well, I mean,
no.
the way that they had it elevated, you have people coming from throughout the Caribbean to go and house on that road.
Yeah. So the road is X miles long, right? Going to the road and have to get to the road going after like you said, if the place is underwater, it'll just be that road protruding. So, anyway, let me not be too facetious, but I hear your point.
All I'm saying is, Sterling, is that a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, we were all under this impression, at least the general public, were under this impression that this road was going to cost us $1 billion over 50 years, and it wouldn't be built till 2074. It is the most ridiculous presentation I've ever been to in my entire life. I thought I was watching a live set of Saturday Night Live. Really what it was, because when you looked at all the projections, I even took photos of them, and I looking at the existing grade and the level of the land, and then what is projected and where they, and I'm saying to myself, if we were to embark on trying to build this, they would be absolutely right. It would take $1.5 billion to build, and I don't know which quarry in the world would be able to provide that amount of material. We would have to dig 50-foot deep holes in Cayman in order to accommodate that.
How high would you suggest that road?
I'm not an engineer on any road works. I won't make any suggestions on how high the road would be. But what I will say is this: is that we have certain examples of bypasses that we have already built in low-lying areas that are extremely effective today. The east-west arteria that goes to Newlands Road that stopped, the one from Badabanu all the way down to Indus Suite, and the ones, the Limpert Pearson and all those are all roads that were built on wetlands, right? So we don't. You don't need to take my proposal. You just need to go look at the certain examples that we already have. The thing is, I'll end with this. What that whole exercise came off to me is a great big deterrent not to build that road. Period. Because one, they gave us the most expensive, the most ridiculous methodology, and trying to say, oh well, if we did, they're talking about putting solar panels along the side of the road and electric bike lanes. We're talking about stuff that we don't need, right? So, again, that whole exercise and all of the people who are complicit in spending our people's money, because I filed an FOI to find out how much money was spent on this foolishness. Because I can tell you, it's an elaborate deterrent for us not to build this road, and we need to build this road. So, if we take the approach that we did with all of the other bypasses, we should be fine. We shouldn't have any issues.
Well, it's wonderful when you reference Mr. Ezard and Mr. Arden, our former parliamentarians take an active role in public discourse, but citizens like you also sharing a perspective. Thanks very much for attending, but also sharing what you garnered from it. All right,
no problem, man. I appreciate the time.
You are most welcome, man. Thank you for taking time, and enjoy the rest of your day. And to all of our listeners, stay tuned to Radio Cayman. Not only you get the news now and the wonderful music, Doc is ready to be seated, and in a couple of hours, God's willing, you join me back for a talk today. Our good friends from Cayman Shipping from the Maritime Authority, another fantastic agency of exemplary employees that bring honor and integrity to the public service. They'll join us about their scholarship. We get a chance later on to talk to good folks over at the Botanic Park about what they have planned coming up. Some open line to maybe close us out for the rest of the day. We got things for talk today, set up for Thursday and for Friday, but we'll give you a preview of that, later on. Enjoy the rest of your morning. If you are able to, please, make your contribution as lasting and as loving and as invaluable as possible. If we all give of our utmost, nobody will lack. Whether that's in our personal relations or business endeavors, just interaction, with the environment as you walk quietly along Barefoot Beach or Barcas or somewhere along the dikes or elsewhere. Respect where we are, respect who we are. Thanks again for this fantastic opportunity. To Mr. Art, joining come Friday morning, but join me for talk today right after the midday news. See you in a few hours.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant.